say this one really like you mean it, okay? And then I'll explain what you're saying. All right. I will be shamelessly questionable in pursuit of information and relationships. Give your buddy a high five. Yay! All right, have a seat. So, usually people don't want to be questionable. That sounds like, you're being kind of weird. But I say that your job and the way you're going to get into the back door is by coming up with your questions. What is it that you're really interested in? What really fascinates you? What do you want to know more about, right? It stinks to kind of go interview on a job and come up with questions so you can have questions to ask them when they say, well, do you have any questions for us? And then you've got the questions, but it's like you don't really care. It's just you're doing it because you need to look like you have questions. But if you're putting together questions based on things that you're really interested in, now, folks, it could be something completely different, like the client I described to y'all, okay? She was just really interested in Judaism, wanted to do something in that. Had nothing to do with telecom or marketing. It may have something to do with what you currently do, but what's at the cutting edge of what you currently do that really does fascinate you? One time I had a client, and he built the big productions at the theme parks. Anybody ever see Waterworld at Universal Studios or whatever? They have these big productions where there's, you're sitting in a theater or, in an auditorium like that. Well, he created those. And so he was without a job, and I said, well, do you really, really like that? He said, yeah. I said, well, what's at the cutting edge then of that? What do you really want to know more about? He said, I've always wondered why we can't have individual controllers at each person's seat, and they could actually impact what's going to happen, like by voting or something like that. I said, now that sounds like a research project. See, that sounds like a reason to go out and be meeting high up people in the industry. Not because I need a job, but because I've got this idea, I want to talk to you about it, and I'm doing some research. Why can't this happen or something like that? Does that make sense? Do you know, guys, you'll always be way more attractive to people if you have a vision or a mission than the fact that you just need a job. Does that make sense? So what is it that really lights you up if it's still in your current field? What really turns you on? What would you want to be out talking to people about? Come up with those questions. So I'll read this. I'll guide the exploration for what is next in my career by asking the right questions to the right people. Whether it's a job in a field I have no experience in whatsoever, an opportunity to do something at the exciting cutting edge of a field I've been in for years, or an entrepreneurial venture that I'm gaining the courage to explore, I'll focus on gaining information and the connections I'll develop in obtaining that information. And I'll let opportunities and jobs take care of themselves, arising from the relationships and knowledge I gain. That was all, oh my God, that was a real run-on sentence. But do y'all get the point? You might need to read it again, right? But the point is that you're going to be out there connecting with people who know something about what you want to know more about. And you're going to let job opportunities or new venture opportunities unfold out of that. You just want to get in front of people. Start getting information that'll help you choose the direction you want to go better. Plus, you start getting into what? You start getting into people's minds. And therefore, when opportunities arise, you're one of the people that are known by the people in the know. Does that make sense? Yeah? Questions? Thoughts? So I'll commit to demonstrating that a questionable person creates enthusiastic relationships.